Welcome, curious minds, to Dreamtime Discoveries, the place where wonder meets science and mystery. Tonight, we're stepping beyond the edge of what we can prove into a realm of questions that have baffled historians, scientists, and explorers for centuries. From strange signals in the depths of space to puzzles hidden in our own oceans, these are the most unsolved mysteries that cannot be explained. As you listen, imagine standing beneath a star-filled sky, feeling that quiet pull of the unknown. Some of these stories may send a shiver down your spine. Others may spark a brand new idea. Each one reminds us how much of our universe and our own planet remains unexplored. If you love sinking into the unexplained, you're in exactly the right place. Take a deep breath, let curiosity guide you, and join me as we travel through ancient enigmas, modern phenomena, and cosmic riddles that continue to defy every theory. Before we begin our journey, a quick invitation. If this kind of late-night exploration fascinates you, please tap that like button. It helps more curious listeners find us. Subscribe to Dreamtime Discoveries so you never miss a single mystery, and ring the notification bell to know the moment a new voyage begins. I'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Which mystery captures your imagination most? Do you have a theory no one has considered? Your insights might inspire a future episode. So, settle in, adjust the volume, and let the questions of the universe unfold. This is Dreamtime Discoveries, and these are the most unsolved mysteries that cannot be explained. Before time had a name, there was only darkness. Not the familiar darkness of a night sky, but a deeper silence, a vast and endless stillness. No stars, no planets, no light, just the quiet potential of everything that would ever be. Then, in a fraction of a heartbeat, that stillness began to expand. Space itself stretched outward, carrying with it a pulse of energy so intense that words cannot contain it. This is what science calls the Big Bang, though it was less an explosion and more a sudden flowering of space and time. From that first instant, the universe began its long unfolding, a gentle but unstoppable spreading of light and matter. Imagine a cosmos only microseconds old. Temperatures soared beyond anything our minds can picture. Tiny particles, quarks, leptons, neutrinos danced in a brilliant haze. They collided and fused, weaving the first threads of reality. Protons and neutrons formed and joined into simple atomic nuclei. In the first minutes, the universe forged the lightest elements, hydrogen and helium, with a trace of lithium. These simple ingredients became the foundation for everything to come. As the universe continued to stretch, it cooled. Photons, the particles of light, began to travel freely, creating a faint glow that still lingers today as the cosmic microwave background. It is a whisper from that newborn era, filling all of space even now. When astronomers aim their instruments at the emptiness between stars, they still hear that ancient light. Gravity, the quiet sculptor, gathered hydrogen and helium into immense clouds. Within these clouds, matter swirled and clumped. Regions of slightly higher density pulled more strongly, drawing in more gas. Slowly, over millions of years, the first stars ignited. These first suns were titans hundreds of times larger than the star that warms our world today. They burned hot and fast, their lives brief but brilliant. Inside their cores, nuclear furnaces fused hydrogen into heavier elements: carbon, oxygen, silicon, iron. When these giant stars exhausted their fuel, they ended in cataclysmic supernova. Their deaths seeded the universe with the raw materials of future worlds. Consider this: every bit of iron in your blood, every atom of calcium in your bones, every spark of oxygen in your breath was forged in the heart of a star that lived and died billions of years ago. You are, in a very literal sense, made of stardust. Galaxies began to form from the gathering of stars. Immense spirals and graceful ellipticals stretched across the young cosmos. Within one quiet corner of a growing galaxy, the one we call the Milky Way, a small cloud of gas and dust collapsed under its own gravity. From that collapse, a modest yellow star was born. Our sun dot around this newborn sun, a disk of leftover gas and rock circled, shimmering in the faint light. Tiny grains collided, stuck together, and grew. Over millions of years, these grains became pebbles, then boulders, then planetesimals. Gravity pulled these bodies into spheres. One of these worlds settled into a stable orbit, the third planet from the Sun. This was the beginning of Earth. At first, our planet was a molten ocean of rock and fire. Volcanoes erupted endlessly, shaping a young landscape beneath a dense, toxic atmosphere. Comets and asteroids bombarded the surface, bringing water ice and complex molecules. Over time, the planet cooled. Seas condensed. Clouds gathered and rained upon the hot stone. The first oceans shimmered under alien skies. Within those ancient waters, chemistry began to experiment. Simple molecules linked into more complex forms. Some learned to copy themselves. Life, fragile and persistent, began its slow and astonishing story. Look up at the night sky, and you look back in time. Light travels at a finite speed, and the glow of distant galaxies began its journey millions or even billions of years ago. The starlight reaching your eyes tonight left its source long before humans walked the earth, long before Earth itself existed. Every point of light above you is a message from the past, an echo of creation. Your own body is a continuation of that vast history. The calcium that strengthens your bones, the iron that lets your blood carry oxygen, the carbon that forms the backbone of every living cell, each element tells a story billions of years old. When you breathe, you draw in atoms once part of ancient stars, drifting for eons through interstellar space before finding their way to you. The universe did not stop its work after those first stars. Even now, galaxies drift farther apart as space itself expands. New stars ignite from cosmic clouds. Others fade and collapse into black holes, where gravity is so intense that not even light can escape. The cosmic story is still unfolding, and you are part of its current chapter. Imagine floating in the silent depths of space. All around you, galaxies wheel like slow fireworks. Each contains billions of stars, many with their own families of planets, perhaps with oceans, mountains, and life. Our own galaxy is just one among countless others. The scale is almost beyond comprehension, yet every atom of it is connected to you. Now turn your attention inward. Feel the steady rhythm of your heart. That pulse is a reminder that you are not separate from the cosmos. The energy that drives each beat is the same energy that sets the universe in motion. The hydrogen in your cells, the oxygen in your lungs, the light in your eyes, all are children of the stars. In this way, the story of the universe is also your story. From the silent void to the first spark of light, from the birth of galaxies to the forming of Earth, from the rise of life to this quiet moment of reflection, every step has led to you sitting beneath the ancient sky. You are the universe made aware of itself. As you breathe, imagine the timeline of creation unfolding with each inhalation and exhalation. With every breath, you draw in the memory of exploding stars. With every exhale, you release atoms that will travel on, perhaps to become part of a future world or a distant life. The cosmos is vast, but it is not remote. It lives within your bones and your breath, in every heartbeat and every thought. To understand this is to feel a profound calm, a connection that stretches beyond time and space. This is the beginning of the journey. The universe continues to expand. Stars are still being born. And here you are, a small and luminous piece of it all, listening, breathing, dreaming. The night deepens and the air grows cool. Each breath you draw is a quiet meeting with the universe. In and out, the rhythm continues, steady as the turning of the earth. Breathing seems simple, but it links you to everything that has ever lived. The air around you is far from empty. It is a living history, a delicate mixture of gases that have circulated the planet for billions of years. When you inhale, you take in molecules that once drifted through ancient forests, through the lungs of prehistoric creatures, even through the atmosphere of long-vanished seas. Each particle carries a story older than mountains. Consider a single atom of oxygen. Its journey began inside a star far more massive than our sun. In the furious heat of that stellar core, hydrogen fused into helium, and helium into heavier elements. When the star's life ended in a supernova, it cast its treasures outward, scattering oxygen into the galaxy. After eons of travel, that atom became part of Earth's atmosphere and eventually entered your breath. Every time you inhale, you are welcoming the gift of a long-dead star. The nitrogen that makes up most of the air has a tale just as ancient. Born in stellar furnaces, it drifted across interstellar space before joining Earth's sky. Your lungs are not merely filling. They are participating in a cosmic exchange billions of years in the making. Breathing also connects you to every living thing. The carbon dioxide you exhale may one day be absorbed by a leaf, transformed through photosynthesis into sugar, then released again as oxygen for another creature to breathe. The same molecules that leave your body tonight could nourish a tree on the other side of the planet next year, or circle the globe to enter the lungs of a whale surfacing beneath the polar stars. Every breath is shared deep within your cells. This borrowed oxygen fuels a miracle. Tiny structures called mitochondria act as power stations, combining oxygen with nutrients from food to release energy. This process, known as cellular respiration, powers every heartbeat, every motion, every thought. Billions of these reactions occur each second, quiet and invisible, yet essential to life. The warmth you feel in your body is the gentle echo of those ancient stellar fires. Your bloodstream carries the oxygen outward. Red blood cells, shaped like small discs, ferry it from your lungs to the furthest corners of your body. Each cell contains hemoglobin, a complex molecule built around an atom of iron, the very iron once forged in the heart of a supernova. With every heartbeat, that cosmic iron allows you to live and dream. The planet itself breathes alongside you. Forests inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen in daylight, reversing the process at night. Oceans perform their own quiet respiration. Microscopic plankton, floating near the surface, create more than half of the oxygen in Earth's atmosphere. As you rest, countless tiny organisms beneath moonlit waves are producing the very air you need, a partnership that has lasted for hundreds of millions of years. Think of the wind. A breeze that touches your face may have swept across deserts, sailed over mountains, or brushed the tops of distant cities only hours ago. Air is never still. It circulates ceaselessly, mixing and blending the breath of every creature. When you inhale, you are connected to people, animals, and landscapes you will never see, united by the invisible motion of the atmosphere. Even the moon plays a role. Its gentle pull drives the tides, stirring the oceans and moving gases between water and sky. Without that slow lunar rhythm, the planet's great cycles of air and water would be different, and life might never have emerged in its present form. As you breathe, you share a cadence with the seas themselves, ebb and flow, rise and fall. Inside your body lies an echo of those ancient oceans. Your blood plasma carries the same balance of salts found in primordial seas, a reminder that life began in water. Each breath you take continues a dialogue that started when the first cells learned to use oxygen billions of years ago. Now imagine tracing one breath backward through time. Perhaps a molecule of oxygen once rustled the leaves of a Cretaceous forest while dinosaurs fed beneath a hot sun. Perhaps a molecule of nitrogen floated over the ice of the last great glaciation, carried by winds that sculpted the world we know today. The air you breathe is a living archive of Earth's history. Breathing is also a conversation with the present moment. Your diaphragm moves like a slow tide, drawing air into the deepest spaces of your lungs. Tiny sacs called alveoli pass the oxygen into your blood, and carbon dioxide flows outward on the return breath. This exchange is effortless, automatic, yet it sustains everything you are. Notice how your own rhythm mirrors larger patterns. The planet spins once every 24 hours. The ocean tides rise and fall in steady cycles. Your breath follows the same universal tempo. Inhale, exhale. Just as the earth inhales and exhales through its forests and seas, beyond biology, there is poetry in this shared motion. The same molecules you breathe tonight may one day become part of a distant star, swept away when our sun expands and releases its outer layers into space. Your breath will travel far beyond your lifetime, part of an endless chain of transformation. As you continue to breathe, feel the unity of these truths. The air in your lungs is not yours alone. It is the product of ancient stars, living oceans, endless winds, and the quiet work of green leaves under sunlight. It connects you to the past, the present, and the future. Every inhale is an arrival. Every exhale is a gift back to the world. Let that realization bring a deep calm. The universe moves through you with every breath. You are not separate from the sky above or the soil beneath. You are part of the planet's respiration, part of the galaxy's long story, part of the quiet dance that began before Earth was born. Continue to breathe easily, slowly. Feel how each breath draws you deeper into harmony with all that exists. You are breathing with the cosmos, and the cosmos is breathing with you. As evening deepens and the world outside softens into shadow, an extraordinary transformation begins within you. Behind closed eyes and beneath the quiet surface of thought, your brain prepares for its nightly performance. It is a silent symphony, an elegant dance of electricity and chemistry that sustains life, strengthens memory, and nourishes the soul. Your mind does not simply switch off when you fall asleep. Instead, it orchestrates a carefully choreographed sequence of events. Billions of neurons, tiny cells, shaped like branching trees, begin to change their patterns of activity. Electrical pulses slow, then surge, then drift in waves across the brain's landscape. Each shift carries you deeper into the cycles of sleep that every creature depends upon. The journey starts with light sleep. As you drift away from wakefulness, your heartbeat slows, muscles relax, and body temperature drops. Brain waves transition from quick, alert rhythms to gentler patterns known as theta waves. It is a threshold state, a gentle descent where consciousness loosens its grip. People sometimes experience fleeting images or sensations here. The feeling of falling, the glimpse of a dream. These are the opening notes of the night's symphony. Soon you enter a deeper stage. Slow wave sleep arrives, marked by the powerful, rolling delta waves that sweep across the cortex like ocean swells. In this phase, the body turns to repair. Growth hormone is released, helping tissues mend and muscles recover from the day's exertion. The immune system strengthens, fortifying you against illness. Even your skin renews itself as cells divide and rebuild. What feels like stillness is, in truth, intense activity devoted to healing. During these slow wave periods, the brain also tends to memory. Experiences of the day, faces, words, ideas are replayed in miniature within networks of neurons. Like a careful archivist, the brain decides what to keep and what to let fade. Short-term memories stored in the hippocampus gradually migrate to vast storage areas of the cerebral cortex. This nightly filing system allows you to wake with a clearer mind and a steadier grasp on knowledge. After a time, the music of sleep changes again. Your eyes, though closed, begin to flicker beneath the lids. This is the stage known as rapid eye movement, or REM sleep, the realm of vivid dreams. Brain activity now resembles wakefulness. Fast, complex waves ripple across the cortex, while the body remains almost completely still. A natural paralysis prevents you from acting out the adventures of your dreams. Dreams are among the most mysterious creations of the human mind. They blend fragments of memory, imagination, and emotion into stories that can be fantastic or mundane, terrifying or joyful. Scientists believe that dreaming helps process feelings, solve problems, and spark creativity. Artists, inventors, and thinkers through history have woken with insights that came to them in the theater of REM sleep. As you dream, your brain is not only entertaining itself, it is exploring possibilities, strengthening connections, and rehearsing for tomorrow. Hidden within this nightly cycle is another essential process, the brain's own cleansing ritual. During deep sleep, a network called the glymphatic system becomes highly active. Cerebrospinal fluid flows through the brain's delicate channels, washing away metabolic waste that accumulates during waking hours. Proteins and byproducts that, if left behind, could damage cells are carried off like dust swept from a workshop. This internal tide is so effective that scientists compare it to a nightly bath for the mind. Without it, the brain cannot maintain long-term health. The rhythm of these stages, light sleep, deep sleep, REM repeats several times through the night. Each cycle lasts roughly 90 minutes, and each one contributes something unique: restoration, memory consolidation, emotional balance, creative dreaming. By morning, you have traveled through this sequence 4 or 5 times, a journey as intricate as any symphony performed by an orchestra. Even as you sleep, the brain remains alert to the world. Deep within, the thalamus filters sounds, letting through only the signals that might indicate danger. A faint noise of baby crying, a door opening can rouse you, while the hum of a refrigerator or the whisper of wind passes unnoticed. This quiet vigilance is a gift from evolution, a way to stay safe while surrendering to rest. Neurotransmitters, the brain's chemical messengers, guide the transitions between wakefulness and sleep. Serotonin and gamma-aminobutyric acid help usher in drowsiness. Later, bursts of acetylcholine spark the vivid activity of REM. The balance of these chemicals forms an internal clock that aligns with the rhythms of daylight and darkness, a pattern known as the circadian rhythm. Even without alarms or schedules, this clock gently nudges you towards sleep each night and wakefulness each morning. Your nightly symphony is shaped by age, health, and habits. Newborns drift through half of their sleep in REM, their developing brains hungry for stimulation. Adults spend less time dreaming and more in slow wave repair. As people age further, deep sleep gradually decreases, yet the mind continues to depend on these cycles for memory and mood. Good sleep supports clear thinking, emotional resilience, and physical vitality. Chronic deprivation erodes them all. Scientists continue to explore the link between sleep and creativity. During REM, the brain forges connections between distant ideas, a process called associative thinking. This is why solutions sometimes appear after sleeping on it. The painter's sudden inspiration, the mathematician's breakthrough, the writer's unexpected plot twist, all may emerge from this hidden nocturnal workshop. The influence of sleep reaches even into the immune system. While you rest, specialized cells circulate more freely, hunting for infections or abnormalities. People who consistently sleep well recover faster from illness and respond better to vaccines. Your nightly symphony is not only a concert of the mind, but a vital defense of the body. Modern life often threatens this delicate performance. Artificial light, irregular schedules, and constant stimulation can disrupt circadian rhythms. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin, the hormone that signals nighttime. Caffeine lingers in the bloodstream, delaying the onset of deep sleep. Yet the brain remains remarkably adaptable. With consistent habits, dimming lights, reducing noise, honoring natural cycles, you can restore the balance and let the music play as dawn approaches. The brain prepares for awakening. REM periods lengthen, dreams become more elaborate, and the body's temperature begins to rise. Cortisol levels climb slightly, providing the energy needed to meet the day. When morning light touches the eyelids, signals race through the optic nerve, telling the inner clock that it is time to return to the world. You open your eyes, often without remembering the night's intricate performance. But its effects remain. Memories are sharper, emotions steadier, muscles healed, mind refreshed. The symphony has done its work, leaving you renewed for the challenges and wonders of another day. To listen closely to this nightly music is to glimpse a profound truth. Sleep is not idleness, but creation. While you lie still, the brain composes, repairs, and dreams. Every cell hums with purpose. Every cycle adds depth to the melody of life. You awaken not simply rested, but subtly transformed. So as night falls again, remember the marvel that unfolds behind your closed eyes. The nighttime symphony of the brain will rise once more, an ancient, tireless concert that carries you through darkness to light, weaving health, memory, and imagination into the fabric of your being. Night stretches across the world, and the pull of gravity holds you close. It is an invisible embrace, older than the stars overhead, guiding every motion of your body and every orbit of the planets. As you settle deeper into rest, this quiet force cradles you, singing a lullaby that has never ceased since the universe began. Gravity is the first music you ever knew. Long before birth, when you floated in the watery world of the womb, gravity shaped your tiny form. It drew nutrients toward you, anchored you in a rhythm of gentle pressure and release. The same universal pull that steers galaxies also guided the growth of your bones and the beat of your developing heart. Even now, as you drift toward sleep, that ancient force keeps time for your every breath. Imagine the earth itself as a vast companion, endlessly turning. Its mass bends the fabric of space so that oceans cling to the shore and the moon circles above. Without this steady hand, the seas would not rise and fall, rivers would not find their courses, and the thin veil of air around the planet would drift away into silence. Every cloud, every mountain, every living thing remains here because gravity whispers, "Stay, look outward into the night sky and see how far that whisper travels." The moon's soft pull creates the tides, drawing whole oceans toward it as our planet spins. Twice each day, the waters answer, rising and retreating in a timeless dance. When you breathe beside a sleeping coastline, the movement of the tide is a distant echo of that same gravitational melody playing inside your own body. The planets, too, glide in their endless circuits because of gravity's embrace. Earth moves around the sun at nearly 30 kilometers per second, a speed so immense it defies imagination. Yet we never feel the rush. Gravity binds our world to its star, and the sun itself follows a graceful path around the center of the Milky Way, taking more than 200 million years to complete the single orbit. Every twinkle of starlight above you is a note in this cosmic composition. Now think about how gravity shapes the smallest details of your nightly rest. When you lie down, fluids in your body shift, guided by the same force that moves planets. Your heart works a little less to pump blood upward. The delicate sensors in your inner ear, tiny crystals of calcium, settle and tell your brain that it is safe to drift off. Even the weight of your blanket, that gentle downward tug, is a reminder of the constant pull beneath you. Gravity also sets the rhythm of your days through the dance of Earth and Moon. Without the moon's gravitational influence, our planet would wobble like a spinning top, seasons would become chaotic, and the stable climate that cradled life might never have emerged. Each balanced sunrise and sunset owes its regularity to this cosmic partnership. As you rest, you are carried around the planet's axis, across meridians and time zones, without ever noticing the journey. On a grander scale, gravity sculpts the universe itself. Clouds of gas collapse under its attraction to ignite newborn stars. Galaxies swirl into elegant spirals because countless suns and planets heed its call. Black holes, regions of gravity so intense that nothing can escape, serve as silent anchors around which entire galaxies revolve. Every beam of light you see tonight has traveled paths curved by this unseen hand. Consider, too, how gravity touches the rhythms of life on Earth. Plants stretch their roots downward, seeking the center of the planet, and send their leaves upward toward the sun. This sense, called gravitropism, guides the growth of forests and fields. Tiny plankton in the ocean orient themselves with gravity to find nutrients and light. Even the migration of birds and the spawning of fish follow subtle cues set by the tides and the pull of the moon. When astronauts leave Earth, they discover how deeply gravity has shaped every cell. In microgravity, their muscles weaken, bones lose density, and fluids redistribute in surprising ways. The human body evolved in Earth's constant embrace. Take away that steady pressure, and its absence is felt everywhere. Returning home, astronauts often speak of a profound gratitude for the weight of their own bodies, the simple joy of feeling ground beneath their feet. Gravity does more than hold us, it creates the stage on which time itself unfolds. Einstein revealed that space and time are woven together, and that mass bends this fabric. The stronger the gravity, the more time slows. Near a black hole, a minute might stretch into hours or years for someone far away. Each moment of your life is subtly shaped by the curvature of space-time caused by Earth, Sun, and distant galaxies. As you lie quietly, you are participating in the architecture of the cosmos. Now bring your attention back to the present moment, to the gentle weight of your body against the bed. Notice how gravity connects you to the planet's core, more than 6,000 kilometers beneath you. That core, made of iron and nickel, spins and generates a magnetic field that shields life from solar winds. The same heavy elements forged in ancient stars now keep you anchored and protected. Think of the slow music of geological time, mountains rising as tectonic plates collide, their peaks slowly wearing away under their own weight. Glaciers carve valleys because gravity draws ice ever downward. Rivers find their courses, cutting canyons over eons, guided always by that patient pull. The landscapes we cherish, the rolling hills, the deep oceans, the quiet lakes all exist because gravity is constant and unyielding. Even in the realm of dreams, gravity may play a role. Many people experience the sensation of floating or falling as they drift into sleep. These fleeting impressions, called hypnic jerks, remind us of the body's eternal conversation with the force that holds it. Your muscles relax, your mind loosens its grip, yet gravity remains, a faithful guardian until morning. Beyond the scientific truth lies a gentle poetry. Gravity is a silent companion, asking for nothing and offering everything. It keeps the stars in their courses, carries the moon across the sky, guides the flight of an autumn leaf, and steadies the heartbeat of a sleeping child. It is the soft hand beneath every cradle, the reason oceans sparkle beneath moonlight, the quiet assurance that you belong. As you breathe in the stillness of night, remember that gravity's lullaby reaches across the universe. From the swirl of distant galaxies to the grain of sand beneath your pillow, the same invisible thread connects all things. It is a song without words, a harmony without end. And as you surrender to sleep, you join that timeless music, held safely in the embrace of a force that began with the birth of everything. Night has deepened. Outside your window, the world rests beneath a quilt of stars. Within you, a different world awakens, one made not of earth and stone, but of memory and imagination. This is the realm of dreams, the quiet theater where your mind speaks a language older than words. Dreaming begins in the mysterious stage, known as REM sleep, when your eyes flicker beneath closed lids and brainwaves quicken to a waking rhythm. Your body lies still, protected by natural paralysis, yet the mind is alive with color, sound, and motion. Here, the brain becomes an artist, painting landscapes from the pigments of experience. A dream can begin with a single spark, a forgotten melody, the scent of rain, a fleeting worry, a sudden wish. These fragments swirl together into stories that defy ordinary rules. Time stretches or collapses. Gravity bends. You may speak with people who are gone, visit places you have never seen, or soar through skies of impossible light. Each detail feels vivid and real, yet each follows the quiet grammar of the subconscious. Scientists have long studied this hidden language. They find that dreams often draw on recent memories, replaying events of the day, but weaving them into new patterns. The hippocampus, that curved structure deep in the brain, refires in REM sleep, rehearsing experiences like a musician practicing scales. But dreams do more than repeat, they transform. They mix yesterday's images with older memories and distant hopes, allowing the mind to test ideas, soften fears, and explore what waking life cannot. Consider the power of emotional healing that dreams provide. During REM, the brain's chemistry shifts, stress hormones like norepinephrine, while areas tied to feeling and empathy glow with activity. In this gentle state, painful memories can be revisited without their sharpest edges. You might find yourself in a dream confronting a worry, but the fear is softened, the outcome uncertain. By morning, the burden feels lighter, as if the night has quietly tended to your heart. Creativity, too, thrives in this nocturnal laboratory. Countless inventions, melodies, and works of art have first appeared in dreams. The chemist Dmitri Mendeleev famously envisioned the periodic table while asleep. The melody of Yesterday, one of the most enduring songs of modern times, came to Paul McCartney in a dream. When the brain is freed from the strict logic of daylight, it can leap between distant ideas, forging connections invisible to the conscious mind. Yet dreams are not merely human. Many animals enter their own REM stages. Dogs twitch and whimper as if chasing phantom prey. Cats' paws flick in silent pursuit. Studies show that birds, rodents, and even reptiles display patterns of neural activity strikingly similar to our own dreaming brains. The secret language of dreams speaks across species, a reminder that imagination is woven into the fabric of life. Why, then, do we so often forget our dreams upon waking? The answer lies in the brain's chemistry. During REM, the neurotransmitters that normally help record memories are dialed low, perhaps to allow pure experience without constant storage. The result is fleeting visions that dissolve with the first light of morning. Yet fragments linger, an image, a feeling, a sudden insight. Sometimes a single dream clings so strongly, it shapes the course of a day or a lifetime. Cultures throughout history have sought meaning in these midnight stories. Ancient Egyptians believed dreams were messages from the gods. Greek philosophers considered them windows into the soul. Indigenous traditions across the world treat dreaming as a bridge to ancestors, a guide for daily life. Though science now frames dreams in neural terms, their mystery endures. They remain a conversation between the conscious and the unconscious, a dialogue we are only beginning to understand. Dreams also reveal the architecture of the mind. Characters who appear may represent different parts of yourself: fears, hopes, hidden strengths. Settings may echo real places, but shift and merge like flowing water, showing how memory stores not photographs, but sensations. Even recurring nightmares, unsettling as they seem, can serve a purpose. They signal unresolved feelings, urging attention and care. Modern researchers explore the possibility of lucid dreaming, a state in which the dreamer becomes aware of dreaming and can gently shape the story. People who practice this skill describe soaring over mountains, meeting lost loved ones, or confronting challenges with new courage. The line between sleeping and waking blurs, offering a rare glimpse of conscious creativity inside the sleeping brain. While science explains much, some aspects of dreaming remain beyond measurement. Why do certain images return year after year? Why do some dreams carry a sense of revelation, as if whispering truths we cannot yet name? Perhaps the language of dreams is meant to stay partly hidden, a secret space where mystery itself is the teacher. Consider, for a moment, the emotional power of a single dream. You might wake with a sudden understanding of someone you love, a fresh idea for a project, or a gentle release of a long-held fear. The mind, working silently through the night, offers gifts no waking effort could force. It is as if the universe within you has spoken in symbols, offering guidance in its own subtle tongue. Dreams can even influence the body. Heart rate and breathing shift with the scenes you experience. Fear may quicken the pulse. A peaceful landscape may slow it. Though muscles are largely still, the brain's vivid journey echoes through every system, reminding us that imagination and physiology are deeply entwined. As dawn approaches, REM periods lengthen and dreams grow more elaborate. The final chapters of the night often carry the most vivid stories, those we are most likely to remember. Then light enters the room, birds stir, and the chemistry of waking floods the brain. The curtain falls, the theater empties, and the language of dreams recedes into silence until night returns. When you next close your eyes, remember that you are stepping into a vast inner cosmos. Your dreams are not random noise, but a living conversation between past and future, logic and emotion, self and universe. They are proof that even in deepest sleep, you remain an explorer, a creator, a storyteller. So breathe softly and welcome the secret language of dreams. Let each night carry you into landscapes beyond time and boundary. And when morning comes, carry a piece of that silent poetry with you. Reminder that the greatest adventures can unfold behind closed eyes, beneath the quiet stars. Night drifts onward, and the sound of distant waves seems to echo in your body. That is no illusion. Within you lies an ocean, a vast, shimmering sea that carries the memory of Earth's earliest waters. Every heartbeat sends its quiet tides through a network of rivers, estuaries, and hidden currents. This inner ocean sustains you, renews you, and connects you to the planet's ancient past. Begin with a single drop of blood. Under a microscope, it gleams like a tiny universe. Plasma, the pale golden fluid that makes up more than half of your blood, is rich with salts nearly identical to those of primordial seas. Sodium, chloride, potassium, calcium, the same minerals that shaped the first single-celled organisms flow now through your veins. To live is to carry a fragment of Earth's ancient ocean within. This inner sea is not still. It moves in endless rhythm. With each beat of the heart, blood surges through more than 60,000 miles of vessels, enough to circle the planet more than twice. Arteries deliver oxygen and nutrients to every cell, while veins return with carbon dioxide and waste, like the ebb and flow of tides. Your pulse is the surf of your inner coastline. The heart, at the center of it all, is a masterful pump. About the size of your fist, it beats over 100,000 times each day, never resting, never faltering. Electrical signals spark across its 4 chambers, creating a cadence as steady as a drum. In a single lifetime, it will move more than 1 million barrels of blood, a quiet miracle of endurance that began before you were born and will continue until your final moment. Listen closely, and you may sense these tides. When you lie quietly, you can feel the subtle pressure behind the sternum, the gentle throb in wrists and neck, the faint rush in the ears. This is the sound of life itself, the ocean inside you speaking in its native tongue. Yet your body holds more than a single sea. Every cell floats in its own miniature ocean of cytoplasm, a salty solution where enzymes work, proteins fold, and DNA unwinds. These microscopic waters maintain a delicate balance of acidity and minerals, a harmony known as homeostasis. If the concentration of salt drifts too high or too low, the cell falters. Your kidneys, those quiet guardians, adjust every moment, filtering more than 50 gallons of blood a day to keep the chemistry perfect. Connection to Earth's oceans runs deep in evolutionary time. Life began in warm, shallow seas more than 3 billion years ago. When the first creatures ventured onto land, they brought the sea with them, sealed within their tissues. We are, in a profound sense, walking oceans. Even the amniotic fluid that surrounded you before birth carries the same salinity as ancient waters, a gentle reminder of your aquatic heritage. This inner ocean also carries messages. Hormones, chemical signals of growth, hunger, and emotion drift through the bloodstream like messages in bottles. Adrenaline races outward when danger threatens, quickening heart and breath. Melatonin, released at night, guides the rhythms of sleep. Each hormone travels the inner tides to deliver its quiet instruction. Consider the immune system, a fleet of vigilant sailors within your sea. White blood cells patrol ceaselessly, ready to confront intruders. Antibodies float like tiny nets, capturing viruses and bacteria. When you rest, these defenders continue their work. Proof that your inner ocean is not merely a passive medium, but a living, protective force. Water itself is the foundation. More than 60% of your body is water. Every thought, every heartbeat, every dream depends on it. Each molecule is shaped like a tiny V, with an electric charge that lets it cling to others. Because of this, water forms a lattice that can dissolve minerals, transport nutrients, and absorb heat. Without water's unique properties, life as we know it could not exist. The journey of a single sip of water is a story of wonder. It passes through the stomach, into the intestines, and across cell walls, entering the bloodstream to join the inner sea. Minutes later, it might be part of a tear, a drop of sweat, or the fluid cushioning a cell. Eventually, it returns to the outer world, exhaled as vapor, released as urine, or shed as moisture on the skin, only to rise again into clouds, fall as rain, and begin anew. You are part of the planet's water cycle. Every breath and every drop a link between body and earth. Your inner ocean also holds memory. Salt, for instance, carries an imprint of ancient stars. The sodium and chloride ions that flavor your blood were born in stellar explosions billions of years ago, then carried across space to become part of Earth's crust and eventually your veins. When you taste salt on your lips, you are tasting the ashes of long-dead suns. This ceaseless circulation does more than nourish, it also guides emotion. Scientists speak of the heart-brain connection, the way signals from the cardiovascular system influence mood and thought. When you feel calm, your heart rate slows and blood vessels relax, sending a message of safety to the nervous system. When anxiety rises, the opposite occurs. Your inner tides reflect and shape the weather of the mind. The ocean inside is sensitive to your environment. A hot day quickens the pulse and draws water to the skin as sweat. A cool night slows the rhythm, conserving warmth. Every moment, countless sensors measure pressure, temperature, and chemical balance, adjusting with exquisite precision. This dance of adaptation is so constant you rarely notice it, yet it keeps you alive. Think of the parallels between your body and the planet. Earth's oceans regulate climate by absorbing and releasing heat. Your blood does the same, carrying warmth from core to skin, keeping internal temperature near 37 degrees Celsius. Ocean currents, like the Gulf Stream, distribute energy around the globe. Your circulatory system distributes energy through every limb. You and the planet mirror each other, great and small. Even the moon leaves its mark on your internal sea. Just as lunar gravity stirs the tides, subtle rhythms in human physiology follow a roughly monthly cycle. Some researchers explore whether the full moon influences sleep or mood, a delicate echo of the cosmic forces that move the ocean's dot as you drift toward sleep. Imagine the quiet teamwork of this inner ocean. Billions of red blood cells carrying oxygen, platelets repairing tiny wounds, proteins ferrying nutrients, hormones guiding growth, immune cells scouting for threats. All of it flows without conscious effort, a silent symphony that began before you learned your first word. When you place a hand over your heart, you can feel the pulse of this hidden sea. It is a reminder that you are not separate from the world, but an extension of it. The iron in your blood once shone in a distant star. The water that sustains you may have rained on ancient forests or filled the lungs of a dinosaur. Your inner ocean is not merely yours, it is Earth's, shared across time and space. As the night continues, your heartbeat slows and the waves within you move gently, in harmony with the quiet around you. The ocean inside and the ocean outside are one story, told in different voices. Both have seen the birth of stars, the rise of continents, the endless cycle of creation and renewal. When morning comes and sunlight touches your skin, the inner sea will continue its timeless work. It will carry oxygen to every thought, warmth to every limb, and life to every cell. It will whisper of ancient tides and distant galaxies, of the planet's beginning and the stars that gave you form. So as you rest, listen to the ocean inside you. Its tides are steady, its music eternal. It is the first cradle of life and the constant companion of your days. In every heartbeat and every breath, you carry the memory of the world's waters and the vast cosmic ocean from which all things flow. The night stretches on, deep and hushed. Outside, the sky glitters with constellations that ancient travelers once used to guide their journeys. Inside your mind, another sky is unfolding. It is vast, luminous, and filled with patterns that only you can see. Every dream you have ever dreamed is a star in that private cosmos. Tonight, you sail once more across its silent expanse. When you dream, you are both voyager and cartographer. The landscapes of sleep are not random. They are coordinates on an inner map drawn from memory, imagination, and the quiet workings of your brain. Scientists call this territory the default mode network, a constellation of regions that brighten when the waking world dims. It is as though the mind carries its own night sky, a swirl of lights that chart the geography of thought. Dreams begin when the body has surrendered to rapid eye movement, the REM phase of sleep. In this state, your brain hums with activity nearly as vivid as waking. The prefrontal cortex, guardian of logic and order, softens its grip. The limbic system, seat of emotion and memory, flares with energy. Images, sounds, and sensations drift together like cosmic dust, fusing into scenes that feel both strange and achingly familiar. You become a traveler without gravity, unbound by time or distance. Consider how a dream unfolds. A door appears in a hallway you have never walked. A forgotten friend speaks in a language you do not know yet somehow understand. The physics of the waking world dissolve. You fly, you breathe underwater. You step from one century to another. This is not chaos, but a kind of nocturnal mathematics. Your brain is testing possibilities, sketching alternate routes, weaving stories from the raw material of experience. Researchers suggest that dreaming serves many purposes. One theory is memory consolidation. The brain revisits the day's events, strengthening important connections and discarding what is no longer needed. Another theory sees dreams as rehearsal. By simulating challenges, escaping danger, solving puzzles, your mind practices for the unexpected. Still others believe dreams are the purest expression of creativity, a nightly studio where art, music, and invention take root. Think of history's dreamers. The chemist August Kekule dreamed of a snake biting its tail and awoke with the structure of the benzene ring. Paul McCartney once heard a melody in his sleep that became the song Yesterday. Countless scientists, artists, and writers have glimpsed breakthroughs on the frontier between slumber and waking. Your own dreams, though quieter, hold the same potential. Untested ideas, hidden insights, sudden clarity like the flare of a shooting star. Yet dreams are not only intellectual, they are emotional cartographers, helping you navigate feelings too vast for daylight. A dream can replay an argument in symbolic form, letting anger soften. It can place you with a loved one who is gone, offering a moment of comfort beyond words. Psychologists call this emotional regulation, the brain's gentle way of healing itself. Night after night, the symbols of dreams are as old as humanity. Ancient Egyptians recorded them on papyrus, believing they were messages from the gods. Greek philosophers treated them as prophecies or reflections of the soul. Modern science views them as the brain's own language, but the mystery remains. Why does a single image, a staircase, a river, a sky of violet light carry such weight? Perhaps because dreams speak in metaphors deeper than speech, using the grammar of the universe itself. Notice how your own dreams borrow from the cosmos. Stars become city lights, galaxies swirl into rivers, moons rise over impossible landscapes. The same elements that formed your body, carbon, oxygen, iron, were born in distant suns. When you dream of starlight, you are remembering, in some quiet way, where you came from. Lucid dreaming is a rare state where the voyager realizes they are dreaming and can steer the journey. With practice, some people learn to fly deliberately, to walk through walls, to meet guides of their own creation. Researchers study lucid dreamers to understand consciousness itself. Is the mind in this state more awake or more asleep? The question itself is a constellation without end. Your sleeping brain is never fully cut off from the outer world. Sounds, scents, even the pressure of a blanket can fold into a dream's narrative. A distant train may become a thunderstorm. The scent of rain may turn into the sea spray of an imagined voyage. This blending of inner and outer signals keeps the map dynamic, a star field always in motion. As dawn approaches, dreams grow more vivid. Each REM cycle lengthens, giving the brain extra time to explore. The final dreams of the night can feel endless, though they last only minutes. Sometimes they end with a gentle awakening, like a ship arriving in port. Sometimes they vanish the instant you open your eyes, leaving only a trace of wonder. Dream recall is its own art. To remember a dream, remain still upon waking. Keep the eyes closed and let the fragments return. A color, a phrase, the feeling of wind. Write them down before daylight erases the ink. Over time, a personal star atlas emerges, patterns of imagery, recurring symbols, themes that rise and set like constellations unique to you. Why do some dreams frighten? Nightmares may be the mind's way of confronting unresolved fears. By presenting danger in symbolic form, the brain rehearses responses, strengthening resilience. Even unpleasant dreams are part of the star map, guiding you through shadowed regions toward understanding. Children's dreams differ from adults. Young minds brim with fantastical creatures and impossible adventures, their neural networks still flexible and bright. Elders may dream of journeys across landscapes of memory, visiting moments long past with clarity that waking life cannot match. Across ages, the star map evolves but never disappears. Culture shapes dreaming too. In some indigenous traditions, dreams are shared each morning, their lessons woven into community life. In many spiritual paths, dreams are gateways to deeper knowledge, a conversation with ancestors or the universe. Science may explain the mechanics, but meaning belongs to the dreamer. Even animals chart their own inner skies. Cats twitch and run in their sleep, replaying hunts. Birds rehearse songs they will sing at dawn. Rats navigate mazes in dreams, their hippocampi lighting with remembered paths. The urge to dream, it seems, is written into the code of life itself. As you listen to the quiet around you now, imagine your brain as a vast observatory. Neurons spark like distant suns, synapses arc like comets, chemical messengers drift like interstellar dust. Your personal cosmos is alive, exploring, creating, remembering. In every night's sleep, you are both astronomer and universe, charting infinite space. And when morning light begins to glow, your inner stars fade, but they do not vanish. They guide your thoughts, shape your moods, influence decisions in ways too subtle to trace. A sudden idea in the shower, a melody humming in your mind, a solution to a problem you could not solve yesterday. These are fragments of the night sky, gifts from your secret cartography. Dreams as star maps remind us of a simple truth. We are creatures of the cosmos, born of stardust, carrying galaxies in ourselves and constellations in our minds. Every night we return to that origin, voyaging through the dark, not in loneliness, but in recognition. The universe is within you, and you explore it every time you close your eyes. So as you drift deeper into rest, think of your dreams as charts of a hidden sky. Each image a star, each emotion a nebula, each insight a supernova of understanding. Your mind is the telescope and the traveler. Your heart is the compass. Sleep is the endless voyage where maps are drawn not on paper, but on the boundless canvas of the soul. Night is fading. Far beyond your closed eyelids, the first hints of dawn seep into the sky like watercolor on paper. A soft silver light glows along the horizon, and the great machinery of the planet begins to stir. Birdsong hesitates, then builds. A breeze gathers in the trees. A hush of expectation lingers over the sleeping world. Within you, another morning is taking shape. Your body, so recently immersed in the deep oceans of sleep, has already sensed the coming day. Long before the first shaft of sunlight reaches your skin, a hidden clock begins to tick. This is your circadian rhythm, an ancient timing system written into the DNA of nearly every cell. In a tiny region of the brain, called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN, thousands of neurons pulse in unison, keeping a 24-hour beat. Signals ripple outward like waves from a lighthouse, adjusting body temperature, hormone levels, and even the timing of each heartbeat. Your internal ocean has heard the faint call of dawn and is preparing for awakening. The hormone melatonin, which rose like a tide to guide you into sleep, now ebbs away. Its opposite number, cortisol, begins to climb not the stress surge of an anxious day, but a gentle crest that sharpens senses and wakes the mind. Blood pressure rises slightly. The heart adds a fraction of strength to each beat. Deep within your cells, mitochondria, tiny powerhouses, switch from nighttime maintenance to daytime production, releasing fresh energy from movement and thought. Breathing deepens. The slow, even rhythm of slumber yields to subtle variability. Your lungs expand more fully, drawing in the cool air of early morning. Oxygen floods the bloodstream and travels swiftly to the brain, where neurons rouse themselves like leaves unfolding toward the sun. Electrical activity quickens. New patterns of beta waves shimmer across the cortex. Dream fragments linger for a moment, then dissolve, like mist rising from a quiet lake. All of this happens while you still lie wrapped in blankets. Perhaps you roll gently, shift an arm, stretch the spine in small instinctive arcs. Muscles that were slack during the night regain tone, and joints secrete synovial fluid, a natural lubrication for the day's movements. Tiny sensors in your inner ear recalibrate balance, readying you for the first step. Even the gut awakens. Peristaltic waves begin their steady rhythm, anticipating the nourishment of breakfast. Outside, the world mirrors these inner motions. The atmosphere itself changes character at dawn. Cool air sinks and currents swirl as the ground radiates the heat stored overnight. Plants, sensing the first blue of morning, open their stomata-tiny pores that release oxygen and welcome carbon dioxide. The planet breathes with you, and in this shared breath, you are never separate from Earth. For a brief time, the light is neither night nor day. Photons scatter through the atmosphere, painting the sky in rose and indigo. Your eyes, even closed, register this faint brightness through the thin skin of the lids. Special cells in the retina, rich in a pigment called melanopsin, send signals straight to the brain's clock. They tell you, without words, that the sun is near. The chemistry of emotion stirs as well. Dopamine pathways hum softly, lifting mood. Serotonin levels rise, carrying a quiet optimism. If you have ever woken to a sense of inexplicable hope, it is this neurochemical dawn, a natural wellspring of possibility. Your mind, refreshed by dreams and deep sleep, begins to gather the threads of intention, tasks to complete, ideas to explore, kindnesses to offer. Awakening is not an abrupt switch, but a gentle ascent. First comes hypnopompia, the delicate borderland between sleep and wakefulness. Images may still drift behind closed eyes' faces, colors, snippets of music. You may feel as though you float, half aware of the room, yet still tethered to the night sky of dreams. Many people cherish this time, when the creative mind is free and the world has not yet demanded action. Slowly, you become aware of the simple miracle of breath. Through the nose, cool and steady. Out through the mouth, warm and quiet. This rhythm has never ceased, not for a single heartbeat, through all the hours of slumber. It is the same rhythm that sustained your earliest ancestors, that connects every living creature on Earth. Each inhalation carries molecules of oxygen forged in stars billions of years ago. Each exhalation releases carbon that may one day nourish a forest tree. Consider how the senses reawaken one by one. Touch arrives first, the softness of a pillow, the faint weight of the blanket, the brush of air on your skin. Then sound, the low murmur of wind, a bird's call, perhaps the distant hum of a city beginning its day. Scent follows, maybe the faint coolness of dawn air seeping through a window, or the aroma of rain if clouds linger. Sight comes last, as eyelids lift to meet the first true light of morning. When you finally open your eyes, the world is subtly transformed. Colors seem cleaner, edges more defined. This is no trick of imagination. The retina's photoreceptors have rested and are now at their most sensitive. The first rays of sun strike the atmosphere at a low angle, scattering blue wavelengths and washing everything in a gentle golden glow. Painters call this the blue hour, followed by the golden hour, when light itself seems to carry peace. The first movements of the day are small acts of re-entry. Feet find the floor, muscles lengthen in a stretch older than language. Gravity, which held you all night against the mattress, now invites you to stand. Your vestibular system, the inner ear's labyrinth of canals, senses the shift and balances the body. You are upright, a vertical creature greeting the sun. Breakfast is not merely tradition. It is chemistry. After hours without food, blood sugar dips and the body prepares to refuel. Taste buds awaken eagerly, saliva flows, and digestive enzymes prime themselves for the first bite. The inner ocean that carried you through the night welcomes nutrients to rebuild and energize every cell. Around you, countless other awakenings echo. Flowers turn toward the light. Bees emerge from their hives. Rivers of air rise with the warming land, carrying the scent of soil and grass. Even stones respond, expanding slightly as the sun's warmth returns. The planet is alive with the same pulse that beats in your chest that morning is also a beginning for thought. The prefrontal cortex, now fully alert, organizes plans and weighs decisions. Yet in these first minutes, the mind is still close to the creative dream state. Writers, inventors, and philosophers through history have treasured early morning for insight. When imagination and logic overlap, perhaps a solution arrives unbidden, or a melody lingers from the night's private concert. Some cultures honor this transition with ritual. Monks chant at daybreak. Farmers step outside to greet the rising sun. Pilgrims pray, poets write, children laugh in their sleep as light spills across the room. These acts recognize what science also reveals. Awakening is not merely the end of sleep. It is a daily renewal of life itself. Remember that this entire dance began hours before the first bird sang. Your body sensed dawn long in advance, orchestrating a symphony of hormones, temperature shifts, and neural signals. By the time you open your eyes, millions of cellular decisions have already prepared you to meet the day dot as the sun clears the horizon. Shadows shorten and the air warms. You may feel an urge to move, to step outside, to greet the day's possibilities. Every breath of morning air carries negative ions that refresh the lungs and mind. Light floods the retina, telling the brain to reset its clock for another cycle of 24 hours. The rhythm continues, ancient and unbroken. Awakening is a quiet triumph repeated billions of times across the planet each morning. It is the culmination of night's hidden labors, the repairs of tissue, the sorting of memory, the silent voyages of dreams. It is also a promise that today can hold new beginnings, however small, a conversation, a discovery, a kindness, a moment of awe dot, so as you rise and stretch, pause for a heartbeat. Feel the weight of your body, the steadiness of breath, the subtle thrill of being alive. The stars that kindled your atoms still shine above the brightening sky, and the same cosmic forces that guided your dreams now guide your day dot. The dawn of awakening is not only the start of morning, it is the daily reminder that you belong to the universe, that every cell carries the memory of starlight, that every sunrise is a new creation. Night has given you rest, and now light offers possibility. Step into it gently, with wonder. The sun now stands higher, yet in the quiet of your thoughts, the night still lingers. Sleep has lifted, morning has unfolded, and the day stretches before you like a vast ocean. But the voyage of rest and renewal never truly ends. Every heartbeat, every breath, every step you take through waking hours continues a journey that began long before you were born and will continue long after. Today has passed. Life itself is movement. Inside you, rivers of blood surge through miles of vessels, carrying oxygen to every cell. Neurons flash with electric sparks, sending signals that allow you to speak, to smile, to wonder. The very atoms of your body vibrate with the music of creation, their particles spinning in patterns set in motion billions of years ago. You are not a passenger on this voyage. You are the vessel, the sea, and the starlit sky all at once. Consider the journey of a single breath. Air enters the nostrils, cool and quiet. It travels down the windpipe, through branching bronchi, into the tiny alveoli of the lungs, where blood waits to trade carbon dioxide for oxygen. In seconds, that oxygen binds to hemoglobin and rushes into circulation, reaching the farthest fingertips and the deepest corners of the brain. Moments later, the same molecules will help a muscle contract, a thought form, or a dream take root. Each breath is a round trip across the body's hidden seas, a miniature voyage repeated tens of thousands of times a day. Your body is a ship of ancient design. The skeleton, strong yet light, is a framework of mineral and memory, carrying the echoes of distant ancestors who first walked upright on African plains. Muscles wrap this frame in layers of quiet power, contracting and releasing in perfect rhythm. The heart is the great engine, pumping tirelessly. The skin is both sail and shield, catching sunlight and guarding against storms. Every cell is a crew member, working in harmony to keep the vessel moving forward. The voyage is not confined to flesh. Your thoughts travel constantly through memory, imagination, and possibility. One moment you recall the scent of childhood rain. The next you imagine a future not yet written. Electrical impulses dart across synapses at speeds faster than any ship could dream of. Within the theater of the mind, you traverse years, continents, even galaxies in the time it takes to blink. From the perspective of deep time, your journey is part of an unbroken current. Long before humans walked the earth, the atoms that now form your body were forged in the hearts of stars. Supernovas scattered them across the galaxy, and gravity gathered them into a planet of blue oceans and green continents. Life emerged, adapted, and passed its molecular wisdom through countless generations until it arrived in you. When you breathe, when you think, when you simply exist, you carry forward that cosmic expedition. Even waking life holds its own tides. Hormones rise and fall like the moon's pull on the sea. Energy surges mid-morning, ebbs in the afternoon, renews with evening rest. Your heart rate quickens with excitement and slows with calm, echoing the ebb and flow of the oceans. The voyage is rhythmic, a dance between motion and stillness, action and repose, that travel beyond your own body for a moment. The planet spins eastward at over 1,600 kilometers per hour, carrying you around its axis. At the same time, Earth orbits the Sun at nearly 30 kilometers per second. The solar system itself sweeps through the Milky Way at 500,000 miles per hour. Though you may feel still, you are hurtling through space, riding an endless cosmic current dot. Every culture has told stories of this perpetual motion. Sailors charted constellations to cross unknown seas. Nomads followed the stars across deserts. Pilgrims walked ancient paths to holy sites. Their journeys mirror the deeper voyage of life, outward in space, inward in spirit. Your own travels, whether across continents or simply through the days of a single year, are chapters in the same universal saga. Don't notice how the smallest acts reveal the grandeur of the trip. A sip of water may contain molecules that once drifted in a primordial sea. A breath of air may hold atoms exhaled by a tree on the other side of the world. The food you eat carries the memory of sunlight captured by plants. Everything you touch is part of the same eternal circuit dot. As evening approaches once more, the cycle of sleep beckons. The voyage turns inward again. Your body, after hours of movement and thought, prepares to descend into the ocean of night. Melatonin rises, muscles relax, and the mind begins its slow drift toward dreams. The boundaries between day and night blur, and you are once again the traveler setting sail across a starlit sea. There is comfort in this repetition. Each day is a single wave in a boundless tide. No moment is wasted. Each is carried forward into the next, woven into the fabric of your story. The voyage is both destination and journey, both question and answer. Think of all that you have already traversed, the years of growth from child to adult, the countless thoughts and feelings that have shaped your identity, the obstacles overcome, and the joys embraced. The map of your life is drawn in experiences, not miles. Every person you meet, every idea you encounter, becomes another constellation on your inner chart. And still, the journey extends beyond what you can see. Cells within you will divide and renew for decades to come. The planet will circle the sun countless times. New stars will ignite in distant galaxies, sending light that may take millions of years to reach the place where you now stand. Your personal voyage is a single luminous thread in an infinite cosmic tapestry. Some people speak of finding purpose as if it were a destination, but perhaps purpose is simply the voyage itself. To move, to change, to learn, to love. Each morning offers a fresh horizon. Each night offers a return to the mysterious depths of sleep, where dreams reshape the map. Even at rest, you continue onward. While you sleep, the heart never ceases its rhythm. The brain repairs connections and forges new ones. The Earth spins, the solar system arcs through space, and the galaxy drifts toward its next rendezvous. Motion is existence. Stillness is only an illusion. To recognize this is to feel both humility and wonder. You are a traveler across time and space. Yes, but you are also time and space themselves, made conscious for a brief and shining moment. The same stardust that forms your bones forms the mountains, the oceans, the distant rings of Saturn. There is no final port, no ultimate shore. There is only the endless voyage. So as another day begins to close, remember, the journey is not something outside you. It is you. Every breath, every heartbeat, every spark of thought is a step along the infinite path. Night will come again, and with it, the silent sea of sleep. Morning will return, carrying the promise of new discoveries. The voyage flows on endlessly, beautifully carrying you through the boundless cosmos of being. The day has come full circle. Shadows stretch across the ground, and the low light of evening softens every edge. Above you, the sky deepens from gold to indigo, a quiet reminder that time is always in motion. Yet within this turning of hours lies a secret that sages and scientists alike have tried to name. The present moment, the eternal now. It is not tomorrow, nor yesterday. It is the single breath you draw, the subtle beat of your heart, the awareness that you exist in this precise second, and that this second is infinite. Close your eyes for a moment and feel it. Air cools your nostrils as you inhale. Your lungs expand, ribs lifting like the slow rise of a tide. Tiny alveoli bloom open, trading carbon dioxide for oxygen, fueling every cell. This exchange is happening only now. The breath just taken is already memory. The next is a possibility. The present is all that is real. Modern science, with its telescopes and particle accelerators, measures time with exquisite accuracy. Physicists speak of nanoseconds, of atomic vibrations, so regular they can guide satellites through space. But they also tell us that past and future are constructs. Einstein's relativity shows that what we call now differs depending on speed and gravity. Two observers moving differently can disagree on the sequence of events. From the universe's perspective, all moments exist together, a shimmering fabric without beginning or end. And yet, for the human heart, the now is unmistakable. You feel it in the warm weight of your body, in the sound of your own pulse, in the faint electric hum of thought. Your senses open wide, the scent of cooling earth after sunset, the hush of distant wind, the velvet dark that gathers like water at the edges of sight. This is life unfiltered, before memory shapes it, before expectation reaches for it. Consider how every story of your life has unfolded through an unbroken chain of these moments. The first step you took as a child, the laughter of friends, the quiet times of loss, all were once now. They live in memory, but they were never anything other than the present when they occurred. Even when you recall them, you are remembering them now. The mind can revisit the past or imagine the future, but it does so only in this eternal instant. Neuroscience offers a window into how the brain experiences time. Your prefrontal cortex anticipates, plans, and projects forward. The hippocampus retrieves memories. But the insula, deep within the folds of the cortex, stitches sensations into the continuous feeling of this moment. Heartbeat, breath, and touch converge there, forming the sense of presence that meditation traditions have honored for thousands of years. Meditation is simply the art of noticing. Noticing the breath. Noticing the thought that drifts like a cloud across awareness. Noticing the quiet between sounds. When you sit in stillness, you discover that the present is boundless. Each second contains infinite subtleties. The flicker of light on the eyelid, the rhythm of blood in the ears, the faint scent of night flowers. You realize you have never actually left this moment, not for a heartbeat. The stars overhead offer their own lesson. Light from the nearest star system takes more than 4 years to reach you. From a distant galaxy, the light might be millions of years old. When you look up, you gaze into the past, yet you experience it now. The universe delivers its history to your senses in a single, immediate gift. Think of how animals inhabit this truth. A bird alights on a branch with no thought of yesterday's storm or tomorrow's wind. A cat stretches in a sunbeam, fully present to the warmth on its fur. Even trees, with their slow metabolism, express a timeless awareness. Roots drinking water, leaves turning toward the light. They exist only where they are. So do you doubt human beings, with our restless minds, often drift away from the present? We worry, we plan, we replay conversations. But when you pause, truly pause, you rejoin the great rhythm of life. You hear the quiet pulse of the Earth's rotation, feel the ancient pull of gravity, sense the cosmic dance that holds galaxies in place. It is all happening now. The present is also where transformation occurs. Growth does not happen in the past. Healing does not wait for the future. A single conscious breath can calm a racing heart. One choice, made in this moment, can redirect a lifetime. The now is not static. It is vibrant with possibility, the fertile ground where all change begins. Consider your own body as a river of moments. Cells divide and die, replaced by new ones. Skin renews, bones remodel, neurons forge fresh connections. You are not the same person you were a year ago, or even a minute ago. Identity is a story the mind tells to connect these shifting patterns. But the awareness that notices change, that quiet witness, remains timeless. As night deepens, you might sense how the eternal now stretches beyond individual life. Generations before you breathed this same air, watched these same stars, felt this same gravity. Generations after you will do the same. All of it occurs in the ever-present moment that contains past and future alike. Even sleep, which seems like a surrender to time, is simply another texture of now. Dreams unfold as present experience, no matter how they bend chronology. The mind does not measure minutes in REM cycles. It drifts in an endless present, where a lifetime can pass in a heartbeat. When you wake tomorrow, it will again be now. Every sunrise is not a return to time, but a continuation of the eternal. The morning breeze that brushes your cheek, the taste of water, the spark of an idea, each is a perfect expression of presence. To notice them is to participate fully in life's vast and subtle miracle. Philosophers from many traditions have pointed toward this truth. Buddhist teachers speak of mindfulness, dwelling in the present without clinging. Christian mystics describe the sacrament of the moment, the meeting place of human and divine. Indigenous wisdom often speaks of the long now, where ancestors and descendants share the same sacred space. Though their languages differ, the message is the same. Reality is immediate and whole. You need not travel to mountaintops or monasteries to experience it. Pause in your own room. Feel the weight of your body against the chair. Listen to the hush between sounds. Sense the heartbeat that began long before you were aware of it. Here, in this very breath, you touch the infinite dot as the evening winds settle. Imagine the vastness around you. Earth spins through space at breathtaking speed. The solar system arcs around the Milky Way, which itself drifts toward distant galaxies. Yet from your perspective, all of that motion collapses into this stillness. The universe is racing, but now it does not move. In this realization lies a quiet freedom. The past cannot hold you. It has already dissolved. The future cannot trap you. It has not yet formed. What remains is this single luminous moment renewing itself endlessly. Within it, love can blossom, creativity can spark, understanding can unfold. Allow this awareness to settle like soft rain. Every thought, every sensation, every beat of the heart is a note in the music of the present. Even as seconds tick by, the snow remains unbroken. You are the witness and the participant, the ocean and the wave, timeless and alive. When you next gaze at the night sky or watch the first colors of dawn, remember, you are not moving from moment to moment. You are the moment vast, eternal, and whole. Time's river flows through you, but the source and the sea are one. The eternal now is where the entire voyage of this series of nights and days has led. It is where the heartbeat of the cosmos meets your own. It is where every story begins and ends, not in the distance of years, but in the immediacy of being. Breathe once more. Feel the air, the life, the infinite present. This is eternal now. It has always been here. It will always be here. And you are already home. Night falls like a velvet curtain, and the familiar world softens. Streetlights shimmer, distant sounds fade, and the body grows heavy with the quiet invitation of sleep. But while your eyelids close and muscles relax, an astonishing performance begins within the mind, a silent symphony of dreams. Every night, your brain becomes composer and orchestra, conductor and audience, weaving soundless music from memory, imagination, and pure wonder. From the first drowsy moments, the overture begins. Alpha waves, slow and soothing, ripple through the cortex as you drift away from waking consciousness. Heart rate and breathing slow, temperature lowers, and a gentle sense of suspension spreads through every limb. It is as if you are a listener settling into a concert hall, lights dimming, waiting for the first note. Science maps this nightly concert in stages. Stage 1 is a light doze, a fragile melody of fleeting images and half-formed thoughts. You may feel the sudden start of a hypnic jerk, like a violin string plucked too soon. Stage 2 deepens the rhythm. Brain waves shift to theta patterns, steady and calming, while tiny bursts of electrical activity, sleep spindles, spark across the cortex like brief flourishes of percussion. These spindles help consolidate memories, locking the day's experiences into lasting knowledge. Then comes slow wave sleep, the deep movement of the bass section. Delta waves roll like ocean swells, unhurried and immense. The body repairs itself here. Tissues knit, growth hormone rises, immune defenses strengthen. Heart and lungs find their slowest tempo, conserving energy for the next day's voyage. It is the body's own nocturne, a profound silence beneath the melody of thought. And then the crescendo REM sleep. Rapid eye movement. Brain activity surges almost to waking levels. Eyes flicker beneath closed lids as if following invisible notes across a cosmic sheet of music. Muscles remain still, safely paralyzed, while the mind leaps into vivid landscapes. Here the orchestra truly plays, and the music of dreams fills the unseen hall. Dreams can be gentle lullabies or wild symphonies. One night you drift through luminous gardens. Another, you fly across star-spangled skies. Sometimes the music takes a dissonant turn, weaving suspense or shadow into the score. But every variation has a purpose. Neuroscientists believe dreaming helps the brain process emotion, solve problems, and rehearse survival skills. A frightening dream may strengthen resilience. A joyous one may reinforce bonds of love. Think of how seamlessly the mind composes these scenes. It draws themes from memory, layering a melody of familiar faces and places. It borrows harmonies from distant wishes or forgotten fears. Time signatures shift. A single night's dream might span years, then reverse in an instant. Physics bends, gravity loosens, and yet within the dream, it all feels true. Your sleeping brain is an avant-garde composer, Unfettered by the rules of daylight, dreams also speak in symbolism, a language of metaphor older than words. Water may represent emotion, flight may echo freedom, doors may signify choice. Cultures across the world have treated dreams as messages from ancestors, spirits, or the subconscious self. Ancient Egyptians kept detailed dream journals. Greek temples welcomed dreamers seeking guidance. Indigenous traditions regard the dream time as a realm of creation itself. Whether mystical or scientific, the idea endures. Dreams reveal what waking thoughts conceal. During this nightly concert, the senses remain strangely alert. Though ears hear no external sound, the auditory cortex can produce music as rich as any symphony. You may awaken with a melody that never existed in the waking world, yet you can hum it note for note. Artists, writers, and scientists have credited dreams with sudden inspiration melodies, equations, stories arriving like gifts from the night. Paul McCartney once said the tune for Yesterday came to him fully formed in a dream. Dmitri Mendeleev envisioned the periodic table while asleep. The brain, freed from the constraints of daylight, dares to improvise. Meanwhile, the body keeps perfect time with the silent score. The heart rate rises and falls with dream intensity. Breathing quickens during thrilling passages, slows during peaceful ones. Even the skin responds, tiny muscles flexing, temperature shifting like subtle key changes. Yet, despite this inner activity, the outer body remains still, an elegant safeguard, so the dreamer does not act out the drama within. Consider the evolutionary brilliance of this nightly cycle. Creatures across the animal kingdom display REM sleep. Cats twitch their paws as if hunting. Birds enter brief dreamlike states. Even cuttlefish flash colors beneath closed lids. Dreaming may be a universal rehearsal, a way for life to refine itself each night. It is as though the entire biosphere shares in a grand nocturnal orchestra, each species adding its own instrument. What is most wondrous is that you are both audience and composer. While your conscious mind rests, deeper layers of awareness create, listen, and respond. Dreams can comfort, challenge, teach. They invite you to dance with possibility, to explore emotions too subtle for daylight. In the dream world, you are limitless, able to traverse oceans, speak with ancestors, or watch new universes unfold behind closed eyes. And when morning approaches, the music resolves. The REM stage grows shorter, the delta waves retreat, and gentle alpha rhythms return. You surface like a diver rising toward sunlight. Often the symphony lingers only as a faint melody, slipping away before you can capture it. But its influence remains. A sudden clarity about a problem, a softened ache of grief, a spark of creativity. The night's concert has shaped you in ways the waking mind may never fully measure. You can nurture this nightly masterpiece. A consistent sleep schedule, a cool dark room, and gentle evening rituals help the orchestra tune itself. Keeping a dream journal invites memory to hold the music longer. Simply placing a notebook by the bed and writing upon waking can reveal patterns, recurring symbols, surprising insights, hidden harmonies. Over time, you may notice how your inner composer weaves themes across months or years. A lifelong symphony evolving night by night. Some people practice lucid dreaming, learning to recognize when they are asleep and to guide the music consciously. This is like stepping onto the conductor's podium, shaping the dream while it plays. It can be exhilarating, allowing flights of creativity or direct engagement with fears. Yet even without such skill, every sleeper is already part of the grand performance. Remember, too, that dreaming is not merely fantasy. It is essential maintenance. During REM sleep, the brain strengthens synaptic connections, clears metabolic waste, and balances emotional memory. Without it, mood suffers, memory fades, and health declines. The symphony of dreams is both art and necessity, beauty and biology, entwined. Imagine tonight's concert already tuning in the background. As you read these words, neurons prepare their quiet instruments. Melatonin rises like a gentle conductor's hand. Soon you will drift once more into that limitless hall where the score is written anew and every note belongs uniquely to you. Perhaps you will walk again through a childhood garden or sail an ocean of stars. Perhaps you will meet someone long gone or someone not yet known. Perhaps you will simply float, weightless, through a sky of endless color. Whatever unfolds, trust that it is part of the larger harmony, a dialogue between mind, body, and universe. And when the morning light returns, carrying birdsong and the first warmth of the day, the music will fade, but its resonance will remain. You will rise refreshed, creativity humming beneath the surface, memory strengthened like a well-rehearsed refrain. The dreamed symphony will echo in subtle decisions, gentle moods, quiet inspirations that guide the waking day. So as darkness gathers and the hour grows late, listen for the silent overture. Feel the weight of your body sink into the mattress, the slow drift of breath. Somewhere within, the orchestra is tuning. Strings of memory, horns of imagination, percussion of heartbeat. Soon the conductor will lift an invisible baton, and the grand performance will begin again. In that soundless hall of the mind, where time bends and possibilities bloom, you will travel farther than any waking journey allows. And when dawn returns, you will carry the music of the night, unseen yet undeniable, into the bright symphony of day. The night is deep and quiet now. Stars stretch endlessly overhead, their faint light drifting across unthinkable distances before touching your eyes. Galaxies swirl in slow motion, each one carrying billions of suns, each sun surrounded by worlds we may never see. Yet in this vastness, you remain a single point of awareness, breathing, listening, and simply being. All evening we have traveled outward, across cosmic tides, through ancient forests, beneath silent oceans, and into the hidden senses that guide us. Now, as the journey reaches its end, it is time to come home. Home is not only a location on a map. Home is the inner space you carry wherever you go. Take a moment to notice the gentle rhythm of your breathing. Inhale, exhale. Every breath is a quiet conversation between body and universe. Oxygen enters your lungs, passes into the bloodstream, and fuels the countless cells that keep you alive. The carbon dioxide you release will nourish plants and trees, which in turn will create more oxygen. It is a perfect circle, a timeless exchange of life. Imagine the countless processes unfolding inside you right now. Your heart pulses in steady time, a metronome older than memory. Neurons fire and rest in intricate patterns, weaving the tapestry of thought and dream. Hormones shift in subtle currents, guiding sleep and renewal. Your body is a living ecosystem, as mysterious and complex as any galaxy. Scientists have learned that even during deep sleep, the mind remains surprisingly active. The glymphatic system continues its quiet cleansing, flushing away the day's waste products so that neurons wake refreshed. Memory centers replay moments from your life, strengthening important connections, discarding what you no longer need. You are not absent during these hours, you are transforming. Consider how extraordinary this is. From the tiniest atoms to the grandest galaxies, everything in the universe shares the same origin. The calcium in your bones was forged in ancient stars. The iron that carries oxygen through your blood was once part of a supernova's blazing heart. When you return to yourself, you are also returning to the cosmos, because the two are inseparable. This awareness is not just poetic. It is physical truth. Quantum physics tells us that particles can remain linked across great distances, a phenomenon called entanglement. Though you may never witness it directly, this invisible connection echoes through every breath you take. It reminds you that separation is an illusion, that all things are joined in ways Science is still learning to describe dot as you rest. Imagine the passage of time slowing. Seconds stretch into minutes, minutes into a soft eternity. There is no rush here. Every sound in the room, the faint hum of distant traffic, the gentle creak of a settling floorboard, becomes part of a larger harmony. You are both the listener and the music. Reflect on the mysteries we have explored. Gravity's subtle pull shaping oceans and orbits. Plants that communicate underground. Animals that navigate by magnetic fields. Dreams that blend memory with possibility. These phenomena remind us that the universe is far more intricate than our daily routines reveal. Yet within that complexity lies a simple truth. The greatest mystery is consciousness itself. What is this you that observes? Questions and dreams? Neuroscience maps electrical signals and chemical reactions. But the spark of awareness, why there is a sense of I behind the eyes, remains unsolved. Philosophers call it the hard problem of consciousness. Perhaps the answer will emerge one day. Perhaps it is beyond measurement. Either way, the wonder is in the asking. Picture yourself as both vast and small. You are the quiet observer of your thoughts, yet you are also the stardust that forms mountains and rivers. You are the silence between heartbeats and the heartbeat itself. This duality can be comforting. It means you belong everywhere, from the tiniest particle to the edge of the observable universe. Now let your attention drift to gratitude. Gratitude for the breath that sustains you, for the mind that seeks understanding, for the mysteries that keep curiosity alive. Gratitude for the people and experiences that have shaped you, even those you may never fully comprehend. Gratitude for the night itself, which offers the gift of rest and renewal. As you linger in this state, imagine the first light of morning waiting just beyond the horizon. The sun will rise, as it always has, carrying warmth across oceans and mountains. Photons born in the heart of the sun will travel through space for 8 minutes before touching the earth, awakening forests, cities, and seas. That same light will enter your eyes, resetting your internal clock and signaling a new day. Life will begin its cycle again, but for now, you remain in the gentle darkness. This is the sacred pause between what was and what will be. Here you can simply exist, no tasks, no expectations, only being. At this moment, you are complete. As you drift towards sleep, remember that curiosity does not need immediate answers. The greatest discoveries often begin with quiet wonder. Perhaps a future scientist will solve the puzzles we pondered tonight. Perhaps some will remain mysteries forever, inviting endless exploration. Either way, the journey continues, and you are part of it. Return to your breath once more. Feel the rise and fall, the ocean within you. Every inhale draws the universe closer. Every exhale releases it back to the stars. There is nothing more to do. You are both the question and the answer. And as the final thoughts fade, carry with you the certainty that you belong to something immeasurably vast and endlessly beautiful. The night sky, the turning earth, the quiet beat of your own heart, they are all chapters of the same eternal story. Rest now, knowing that the universe holds you gently, and that tomorrow will bring new wonders waiting to be discovered. In the dance of galaxies and the silence of a single breath, you are always at home. And so our journey through the unexplained draws to a close, at least for tonight. From cosmic signals that travel billions of years to ancient riddles buried in stone, we've explored questions that remain as wide as the universe itself. Yet every mystery we've touched is only a doorway to countless others. The unknown is not a wall. It's an invitation. As you step back into the rhythm of everyday life, keep that sense of wonder close. The next great discovery could begin with a single question you ask, a single idea you dare to follow. What mystery captured your imagination most? I'd love to hear your thoughts and your own theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed tonight's voyage, please tap the like button It truly helps these stories reach more curious minds. Subscribe to Dreamtime Discoveries and ring the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when our next exploration begins. Share this video with a friend who loves a good enigma and invite them to join our growing community of nighttime explorers. Remember, the universe never stops whispering its secrets. Stay curious, stay open, and keep looking up. Until our next journey into the extraordinary, I'm wishing you clear skies, peaceful dreams, and endless wonder. Good night from Dreamtime Discoveries, where the mysteries never truly end.